Hello and welcome to another live with me, Jessica, from the Tunisian Crochet Graphghan Boutique. I'll give everybody a few minutes to pop on. I know it takes a little bit for the notification to go out. So right now we are working on a corner-to-corner entrelac baby blanket, Tunisian crochet along. We have a profanity pillow that is going to start next week. That'll give everybody time to grab the yarn for that if the baby blanket's not something you want. The profanity pillow cowl is going to be done using the mosaic, Tunisian mosaic. And so we have that about, like I said, that's going to be set up late next week. So the week after, that'll give you guys time to get the yarn. I'm doing mine in like the Barbie colors because it's the Barbie kind of writing. So, but it has the profanity pillow will be coming out. That'll give you guys a chance to go in and grab the yarn. Hey, Sandra. The pattern for tonight is the melting skull throw, so go in and grab that if that's something that you would like to make. I figured if we released it early enough, that'll give everybody time to work it up for their favorite horror fan. What else do we have going on? We don't really have much. Actively, we are busy with the baby blanket. The baby blanket's going to run for 9 weeks. There's going to be 9 panels. And then after the 9th panel is that next week. Hey, Anna. After the next week after the 9th panel, then we're going to start on the border. The border, there's going to be 2 options. One I'm going to explain, and the other one's actually going to be one that we're going to do in the group together. That one's going to be in the round, so you're going to need a double-ended hook or your cabled hooks with one size smaller on the return pass, just like we do our stockings in here. So that should give everybody an opportunity to get all of that together. So for me, using the thinner yarn that I'm using a 4.5 millimeter hook. So for my return pass, I will be using the 4 millimeter hook. This yarn's on the thin side. So we'll have that going on, and I'm trying to think what else. Does anybody have any questions about the cowl or anything that's going on right now? Everybody's blocks are coming out fantastic. There is a rewrite that I have to do with the bottle. So I'm going to have to get to that this week. This week has been crazy. So much going on. I'm trying to spring clean and get every room done, and give me about 2 weeks to do each room, like a deep spring clean, scrub the carpet, declutter. So yeah, I have been pretty busy with all that. Let's see. Hopefully everybody's got their colors for the blocks and at least have them started. Like I said, that will be up for 9 weeks, and then the 10th week we are going to start the border on that and get that all done. So hopefully the live session is helping everyone. And put that gate up and get her out of the kitchen, please.
Come here.
So hopefully the lives during the week are helping everybody explain what we're doing and how the joins are happening. I'm pretty sure once we get to the end of working our increases, then I don't think everybody's going to need such support. So I might just go live once a week, because once you have figured out how to cast on and do an increasing side, which is your second block where you chain out, and then your third block that we're starting now with the building blocks. Once you figure out where to pick up and how to keep your stitch count, that's pretty much all you're going to need for the rest of this blanket. And the top, you know, when you work your last, block, you're going to work that as you did any of the other inside blocks, so it's going to be pretty easy. But you want to make sure that when you do the cast off, you do the chain one and bind off for that, so that you can get into those corners a little bit easier to pick up, because we're going to be going into those little V bind off stitches across the top and across the bottom, and on the sides we are going to be working into the edge stitch. And how you're going to pick this up is going to depend on what you want for your look, so I definitely would play around with that just a little bit on a swatch. I will be picking mine up the same way that I am picking up the blocks. I will be using the back leg and the third leg, and I will be picking up mine that way because I think it gives a more crisp, clean join, especially because you're going to be going around the whole blanket. There is a mitered corner option that if somebody wants to use, I will definitely walk you through that. That is going to be something that you're going to use if you didn't exactly get the squarest gauge, because you're going to have to play around with your gauge. If you didn't get a square gauge, then you can use the same size hook up the sides on both sides, but across the top you're going to need to go down a hook size, otherwise you're going to flare out, because your stitches wide compared to your stitches tall is where that all comes into play. That's why I suggested everybody try to get the squarest gauge that they could get. And by saying the squarest gauge, it just means the same number. So if you got 5 stitches, then 5 inches, or 5 stitches and 5 rows to an inch or whatever, just you tried to stick with that as much as possible. And as long as you're close, it'll work. So does anybody have any questions about any of that? We have started block 3, and I am, like I said, behind because of everything going on, but I'm sure that you've seen Anna's block, and of course this is going to pull everywhere, but this is the baby block with the B and the C getting worked up. So, I wanted to be at like 35 rows, and I am not there. But we'll see what I can get done this evening. So I'll be needing that for my practice blanket. Yeah, the practice blanket, like I said, you're just going to, it depends on where you want your seam to, because you're going to have a little bit of a seam. It's not going to be very noticeable. So for your seam, you're going to just want to decide where you want to chain out from. I like to do it pretty close to the corner. I don't like to do it straight from the bottom because I like to be able to go in, because you're going to be whip stitching to your first and last row together when you do mitered corners. And the mitered corners, Anna, are going to come really easy to you because the mitered corners are basically the same thing that we did for the sweater that we worked on. So those should come pretty easy for most of us that worked the sweater that we did. Here's me you put away when I'm done. So yeah, it has been, it's been a crazy week here. I need a vacation. And I think a lot of us that are in the north are getting cabin fever from being in the house because it's been so cold. So it's finally warmed up outside a little bit, enough today that we went out and got all the yard work done yesterday, and today the yard got picked up so that the lawnmower can be run, and all of the debris that was in the yard all got put in, and the pampas grass that needs cut back at the end of the season all got done. And so yeah, we have been busy here, and I've been spring cleaning, and I've been like a little bee trying to take care of everything. So I'm sure that there will be questions. I can never get miters to work right, but I keep trying. I think, Sandra, that some of them, it depends on the method of decrease. Some of them I have liked, and other methods I absolutely hated. What was one that we did? One of the patterns we did, like the tree skirt for the increases and decreases. I think that's where everything kind of falls into play, is your increases and your decreases. The other one that we did was the towel holder for your stove that has the ring in it. I have had so many people say that the rings that they got in theirs have broke over time from washing them, which is why we did removable ones, and you didn't chain around them, because when you just chain around them and something happens to that ring, everything all comes undone. So that's the reason ours is worked the way that it is. But I find that sometimes if you increase on your forward pass, the decrease on the return pass is better, and sometimes the increase is the way that you work your increase plays a huge factor in that, which is why the sweater that we did, I like those increases and decreases the best for the mitered corners. So if you just worked up a small piece of that, you'll see what I'm talking about. So does anybody have any questions? Like I said, I'm going to try not to fall behind on our blanket, but I know that we have, I have other things going on between, cooking and cleaning and taking care of the house and work and yard work and everything else that I wish, it would be nice to say I wish that I could crochet all day, but I know that when you ask for something like that, the way that it comes in is usually, you get hurt or something has to happen. It's not the way that you meant it at all. So I don't wish for them kind of things, because usually the way that they come about is the way that you wanted it in the first place. So I carve out time where I can, and I am blessed because I have the time to carve out. That's what we're going to go with. So, like I said, we're doing the baby building block right now. If you are doing the 2x3 baby blanket, then you can pick and choose what 6 blocks you want. We have 9 being released. I did share a picture over in the group of what yours is going to look like, and the how we're releasing them. Hopefully I can get caught up over the next 2 days, and but we'll see, because like I said, there's some things that are going on that are going to take up my time. So we have that going on. So make sure you guys go over and grab the pattern tonight. Make sure you're logged into your Payhip account. That way you will get it emailed to your email at 2, so that you can mark it, so that you get to keep it. Hold on one second. dog is adamant she's coming down these steps, so I'm sure that any second now she's going to knock the baby gate down and come down here. She's been a handful today too, so that's what I said. I feel like I'm raising like a whole litter of little kids or toddlers between the dog and the 2 cats and stuff that goes on externally and school stuff, and I need a vacation on Sunday. So yeah, the baby blanket, we're working on the block for the ABCs right now. So that's the bottom of my B and C, and the A's on the top. So we have that going on, and then the bottom of the blanket looks like this, and we will have another block over here that will be, I think, a rattle. And so we have that going on. We have another pattern that will be coming for those that want to do more mosaic, and we will have another stocking coming. So hopefully you guys can go and grab all of that and download what you want to do. And the tea-cow that will be starting pretty soon for the mosaic piece, I'm kind of excited to do. But that's going to be up for a while, because I know that some of us are going to be working on the blanket and they're going to be working on the mosaic piece. So that'll give you a chance to get that done. So the mosaic piece will actually be up for an extended period of time, because I also know that there's a few people that are interested in doing this that are going to need the beginner videos on how to do the modified extended front post Tunisian simple stitch. So, and I will be doing another live about that probably in 2 weeks, where we talk about the stitches and the books that you can get for those that taught the original stitches. Like I said, some of them books are from the 70s and 80s. So, hopefully you guys can watch the videos that we have on the YouTube channel too. Does anybody have any questions about anything so far? And I know it takes a second for everything to come through. Let's see. I haven't seen any questions. Okay, so like I said, those are the tea-cows that are going to be going on. There will be another stocking coming shortly. I have a few different stockings with testers that are going to have pictures, and when those stockings are available, we are going to work up a bunch of, we're going to work up the stocking together, and there's going to be a discount on my stocking patterns so that you guys can go in and grab the one that you like, because we have like a quilt block type pattern with like hearts, and we have the Grinch heart one that we're doing now. We have there's a houndstooth one. There's so many patterns that are going to be available. And that way you guys can go in at a discounted rate, and we can work them all up together. And that way, if you get stuck and have questions, you can ask during those lives. So those will be coming up again this summer, and that will give you an opportunity to have everything done by December, because I know come usually June is when the Christmas orders start coming in for a lot of us. So that's why I like to kind of do the Christmas in June or July, because that gives you an opportunity to work on stuff that you want for your own family while you're working on orders for other people for their Christmases. So that gives everybody a chance to kind of do something for themselves. And too, I think the stockings, I know Lisa has worked up a bunch of them. The stockings are something that once you have done one, hey Lisa, once you have done one, they're kind of mindless. So you can work them up, and you're not thinking about carrying, switching colors with bobbins, the way that it's wrote up, you know, it says like 6 green, and if your pattern is green, then every one of them is a Tunisian knit stitch, and then it'll say 3 red. So instead of doing 3 red, you're going to do 3 purl stitches, and that's going to pop your red out. So it's super easy. It's just a matter of doing 2 different stitches. You just have, instead of it saying TPS, it'll say a different color, and then your background color, it'll say, you know, 36 green. You just do 36 green. So there's no bobbins. I like it a lot because it's super easy and it works up, and it is mindless. Lisa said I really like the one that Laura did. Yeah, she just did the houndstooth one, and she's doing the quilt block one now. Is that the one you're talking about, the quilt block one? I really like how the quilt block one worked up. The pattern was a little bit wider than the stocking, and I try to keep patterns to a certain size, so when you're looking at the stocking, you can see the whole pattern. But this quilt block just came out a little bit bigger than what it was going to, so I was wondering what it was going to look like worked up, and thought, well, you know, if it doesn't come out, we can always change something on it. And it come out absolutely fantastic. So Laura did a great job on that. And I would have not thought to use the colors that she used, but those come out really cool. She's like, I still got this leftover yarn, so I want to use this for another stocking. And I was like, okay. It's amazing because, you know, that's the thing about crochet is when you create something, you kind of have an image in your mind of what you think will work, or what it's going to look like. And then sometimes when you crochet something up, your stitch count or whatever could be off, or the pattern needs moved or altered a little bit, or somebody uses completely different colors than what you kind of imagine things to be, and it gives it a completely different look. And so yeah, I really liked the quilt one that Laura just did. It's she said, I'm going to use these colors, and I thought, with the vision I had in my mind, I was like, you know what, that might be interesting. And when she did it, I was like, oh, I really like how those colors came out. So like I said, make sure you guys go over, grab the pattern for this evening. It's the Melting Skulls. Make sure you're signed into your Payhip. That way that will also go to your email. So if something happens that it doesn't download or whatever, you still have it if you're signed into your Payhip, and it'll go to your email as well. Or if something happens to your phone, then you'll have it. Like I said, we're going to finish up the blanket. We are on block 3 now. We will be starting block 4 on Monday. So we'll have that going on. And for those of you that are using the worsted weight and doing the 2 wide, 3 tall blocks, look over the picture that's in the group that has all 9 blocks and figure out what 6 you want to use. So that'll help you decide too. And you can change colors, whatever colors you want your blocks. I'm changing mine as I go along because I wanted something gender neutral. I think that pretty much covers everything. Does anybody have any questions about anything that's going on in the group? Is there something you want to see that we don't have going on? I know that we have stockings and baby blankets and pillows and mosaics and the stockings are in, you know, we have in the round patterns, and we have mosaic patterns, and we have the regular Tunisian graft patterns. We have so much going on in the group that I think it covers a lot. I think and we do have some new members that joined, so I think we are probably going to do a post about how to start with your chain and your foundation row to set up for any pattern that you're going to do, because the chain and the foundation row are the same through pretty much any pattern that you're going to do that's flat. So I think we're going to have a repeat post on that for those of you that are new, so that you can go in and join. And one of the things that I talk about a lot too is when you go in and you work flat, one of the things that we do here is we chain one less than what is the pattern calls for, because we do not skip a chain here. And the reason we do not do that is because when you work into each back bump, and you include the loop on your hook without skipping anything, you get a more crisp, clean edge from that cast on side, and you don't get that little picot in the corner. So that is one thing that is the way that I write the patterns, my patterns here. And so does Deborah. So I guess if we don't have any questions, I'm going to wrap things up this evening. I will be live again on Friday to talk about our block that we have going on. And like I said, I think that if everybody has kind of caught on with the increases and the how to pick up your next block and how to chain out, that I probably will go down to once a week for a live. But as always, if anybody's having any problems with any of the patterns or something's going on that you don't understand, don't hesitate to reach out to me and send me a PM, and I will message you back when it's convenient, and we can set up a time, even if I need a video call. We do offer one-on-one help here in the group, so if there's anything you guys need, let me know, and that way I can work with you. And that's one of the things that we do here is we offer one-on-one help with any of the patterns or anything that we have, or if you see something in there that you think might be a mistake or whatever, let me know and we'll go over it. Because I've even done like little short videos for how to do something for members when they get stuck. Yeah, make sure you sign into your Payhip, grab the pattern for tonight. It will be up for 12 hours, so that will come down at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. So for those of you that are global, that are rewatching this, you have an opportunity to go in and grab that pattern. Make sure that you join the group and grab the patterns for the baby blanket if that's the one you're going to do. Like I said, I am using a smaller DK weight yarn. Sport weight, it's number 3 yarn. So I'm using that for the baby blanket, so that's why I am doing the 3x3 blocks instead of the 2x3. And like I said, all of your blocks, there's time, but this is what we have so far in ours. Is the pacifier, the diaper pin. We've started the building blocks. And so next Monday, there will be another pattern coming out. So make sure that you guys grab those. And this is going to run for 9 weeks for the blanket, and then we're going to start the border. So if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. And then I'm going to wrap things up for the evening since we don't have a lot of questions this evening. And I will see you guys on Friday for the live for the baby block. And then, like I said, each one of those baby blocks will drop either Sunday night, Monday morning. So be on the safe side, look Monday morning. I'm going to try to drop them on Sunday evening, though. So I hope everybody has an opportunity. Grab everything. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask here, ask in the group, or message me, and I will gladly help you with anything that you're stuck on. All right, guys, enjoy your Tunisian crochet and your evenings. See you